Hello, welcome to Dungeon Girls Podcast. I'm your host, Justin. So, we're back with another anime review. This time, we're doing something different. We're not reviewing mecha or action. Today, we're reviewing slice of life comedy, high school drama. It's hard to say what kind of genre this show fits in. But yeah, we're reviewing the legendary cult classic show Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, which came out in 2006. I'm reviewing the English dub, which I bought. I bought the DVD set during around the pandemic, before the lockdowns happened, because I was bored, and I thought it would have been boring just to watch, action or mecha anime. So I picked up a few comedies like this one, Defrag, I think it was like season 3 of Gintama or something, Funimation, that Funimation released. And yeah, so we're reviewing the 2009 rebroadcast order, and what the rebroadcast order did was take the episodes and put them in chronological order, because when the show originally was broadcast, they had the episodes out of chronological order. So like back in the day, when you would try to watch this show, which I was in high school when the show first came out, we had to go by like the lists that fans made on the internet, man, and boy, was that stuff not reliable. So the show is created by Kyoto Animation, who did shows like Kleinon, Shinobu or whatever, basically a bunch of shit I never watched, because I'm not into fucking like high school little girl anime. Like they even did like Lucky Star, which the director is Tatsuya Ishihara, and this show is considered like the Evangelion of like high school comedies, man. The way people would have heated conversations about this show, like it was like a fucking masterpiece, right? Which the show is about. You have the main character, Kyon, who in the English dub is voiced by Crispin Freeman, who voiced Holland in Eureka 7, and he also voiced Alucard in Hellsing. So it was like, wow, it's like crazy that you had like Crispin Freeman play like this teenage guy character. You also had Johnny Young Bosch as Koizumi. You had Stephanie Shea, who played Eureka in Eureka 7 as Mikuru, and you had Wendy Lee voice the titular Haruhi Suzumiya, and I forget the name of the actress who played Yuki Nakuto, who I'm pretty sure they got the same voice actress as like as the chick who voiced Rei in the original dub of Evangelion, because it sounds just like her, right? So this show is 28 episodes. It's about the main character Kyon, who's in high school. He's like starting, I think, grade 10 or something. He's like 15, 16. And he noticed this weird girl in class called Haruhi Suzumiya, who is this like really loud, obnoxious chick who's into like conspiracy theories and whatnot. Like in the beginning of class, she declares that anybody who knows anything about aliens, time travelers, espers, report to her, right? So it's like, wow, somebody was a huge fan of X-Files, right? And like, Kyon is a little curious of this chick, so he gets to know her, and slowly and surely, like weird people start to gravitate toward him and this girl Haruhi Suzumiya, who eventually creates her own club called the SOS Brigade. That's that's supposed to go out and find these aliens, time travelers, and espers. And um, people joined this club. Koizumi, who's like the handsome like Baishonen character. Turns out he's secretly an Esper. You have Yuki Nagato, who's the quiet, nerdy girl who turns out to be alien, kind of like an alien robot sent to Earth to spy on Haruhi Suzumiya. And you have Mikuru, who's the cute, clumsy chick with big boobs, who is a time traveler, right? Who's time traveler, and they're all like sent by their organizations to spy on Haruhi Suzumiya, who has reality-altering powers like Scarlet Witch. If you're a comic book fan, right? And you have like each member of the team of the club has their own theories on why Haruhi Suzumiya has her powers, right? But basically, she has godlike powers, and it's up to our main characters to keep her in line. You have like our main character Kyon, who is kind of like an what's the fuck? I can't remember the term. He's a unwilling participant of this like club who was only interested in Haruhi because he was bored, and now is put in like life and death situations where, based on Haruhi Suzumiya's mood, she could potentially end the world, right? And cause a bunch of weird supernatural shit to happen. Like at one point, you had like a giant like monster that tried to destroy the world, right? Because Haruhi Suzumiya was bored. So our characters go on adventures, right? The show is mostly episodic, but there's a few arcs in the show, right? You had different episodes where they would there was like an episode where they had like this they went to a tropical island and had to solve a murder mystery, which turns out it was staged by Koizumi. You have like two major arcs in the show, which is the Endless 8 arc, and you have a separate arc called the Sigh of Haruhi Suzumiya, where all the club, where Haruhi basically got depressed after watching a bad movie and forced the club to make a movie, right? Where she basically blackmails people to give her free shit so she can make the movie, and forces Mikuru to wear like really inappropriate outfits, and she abuses Mikuru, who's like the cutest member of the team, right? So and another arc in the show was the Endless 8 arc, which happens like halfway through the series, and holy shit, man, this fucking arc almost broke me, almost made me quit the fucking quit the show, because what happens in the Endless 8 arc is that you have like 8 time loop episodes in a row where our characters are forced to relive their summer vacation together and go on and do a bucket list that Haruhi Suzumiya wanted that summer, where they go to see a movie, they go to a festival, they shoot fireworks. They do a bunch of stuff. They go to catch bugs, right? And each episode, there are minor changes, and I was surprised that they didn't just reuse footage. They actually reanimated basically the same events over and over again, but they changed shit up. Nagato would always buy a mask at the Bond Festival, and it was like a different kind of Ultraman mask, until at one point it was just straight up an alien mask. But yeah, it was like minor changes like that. Like they wore different kimono at this festival, and this fucking arc almost broke me until like the final episode where Kyon figures out what he has to do to break the time loop, right? Which, I took a break from watching that to go watch a couple episodes of Bleach, man, just to like cleanse the palate, right? And there is a really cool episode where like the closest thing that they have to a nemesis in the show is the computer club, right? Where like they stole a computer, they blackmailed the club leader of the computer club, who's voiced by the same guy who voices Kakashi in Naruto, right? And you have this cool episode where they get challenged to a computer game that's basically EVE Online, where you control like fleets of space battleships, and they parody Gundam, they parody they parody like Space Battleship Yamamoto, they parody the legendary show Legend of the Galactic Heroes, which is Anime Snob's favorite show, and which a lot of people consider the best anime of all time. And they actually had like CGI ships. All the different characters had their own spaceships with different designs and different henchmen, which was pretty cool. Yeah, so I thought the show... Here's the thing. The show wasn't funny to me. It wasn't like... I didn't laugh once while watching the show. And that's kind of... To me, that's kind of normal. Because there's One Punch Man, there weren't a lot of anime shows that made me laugh, except for maybe Gintama, and that was it. Here, the show wasn't funny, but it was fun. And the cast of characters were great. I really liked their personalities. The voice acting was fantastic. Fantastic, not fantastic. And I don't know, I had a great time watching the show. My only problem with the show is they had a few episodes early on where you had action scenes, like life and death scenes, and they implied that there's rogue aliens, rogue espers that might want to kill our main character, or Haruhi Suzumiya, and nothing comes from that, right? And then the last episode was kind of boring. It was just Kyon goes on an errand to get a heater, and nothing for the club room, and nothing really happens, right? So that was a bit disappointing. There is a movie called The Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya, where I heard that they kind of gave the show, a climax, epic climax. But yeah, it kind of the show ends on a mute point, which, man, no wonder the fans for decades were hounding, or for years hounding the studio to make a fucking new make a new show or something, right? But overall, I like the show, and I think if you're a fan of otaku shit and high school dramas, you'll probably like the show. And you had a cool cast of characters. This is a nice sit back and chill show, right? Not everything needs to be action and suspense and whatnot. So I'm giving the show a 7 out of 10. But yeah, it has kind of that fucking Endless 8 arc can be really fucking stretch your patience, man, on the show. So yeah, that's it for this review, guys. So we're probably going to take a break from reviewing anime shows, because my next series review, I want to review a tokusatsu series, right? So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Peace. But once in a while we'll review an anime movie or something. Alright, peace.